Rahubat Musar, Ashok, praises and cheers, family. Biggest blessings, biggest divinity, biggest blessings. Peace, 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 family. Peace, love, light, and healing. So, lately I've been hearing a lot of good sisters that come to me for subtle counseling, going through the phases of seeing how deep the certain inception goes, especially when it comes to dating and mating and bringing forth relations. And there's a couple of rules of thumbs that I can share that's very universal right here, that goes as following. So number one, if your relationship isn't centered around eventually, because I know it's not always perfect, but eventually helping creating community, which is common unity, meaning there has to be some unity for there to be common unity between people, and eventually that creates community, and eventually that community can support your relationship, because it does take a village to raise a relationship, just like it takes a village to raise a child, because a relationship is a child that grows every single year that two beings are fostering. They are raising every single year. It's a raising process. It's not a stagnant thing. It's every single year you're getting new depths to the reflecting and refracting process that being a mirror towards another person brings out of you and creates a certain level of coherency, or what we call an aura baby, or energetic field baby, right? Praises and cheers to that. That's number one. Number two is that when it comes to women looking for men, and this applies both ways, but let's keep it where we're at. You definitely want to see a man that is mastered in his sexual energy, his consumption energy, and his religious energy. Let's go a little deeper on that one. So, sexual energy, you want him to be able to be well trained in celibacy, because it is really a training. It's not anything more than a practice, but you want him to be well versed in that, because your womb needs time, certain times for your maturation of your biophysical inhabitants in this realm to take time to have its own level of abstinence. And you want him to not be all over the place, or even worse, addicted to sexual behaviors, lusty behaviors, or even worse as the rabbit hole goes down. Number two, you want him to be a master of what he consumes as far as food, energy, music, lights, sound, audio. All that data, you want him to be a master of how he takes in data and how he isn't gluttonous with it. So he's not lusty, he's not gluttonous. And then three, he's not religious. Granted, he can have a sense of religiosity as a tool, but he's not under the spell of emotional material death religion, which is the three biggest religions, or the six biggest religions on earth. He's conquered his mind enough to not let those cap him off and create outside, for lack of other things that I would want to say on a different publication, he's not creating imaginary friends that makes him non-accountable. He's not creating certain things that allows his mind to stay very fast and doesn't allow him to really relax his nervous system, starting from the mind inwards. He is in the gnosis that all is mental, so everything that he leads you with is going to be from a formation of life being based in mentalism first. And you have every single religion and theosophy and philosophy on earth being based from that anyways. That is the first law of Tahuti, the first principle of Tahuti. So regardless, if he hasn't gone back far enough in his lineage to get back to Tahuti and that basic first principle, then he's not ready to lead you on a mental level, which probably means he's not ready to lead you on a gluttony versus abundance level, or a sexuality versus devotion, surrender, and discipline level. You know, so we have this for the ladies, and for the men, really based in how she looks at you and how she is able to filter this out for you and help you out with that, is how I would say to vet and filter and process her out as well, to see if she's ready to breathe and think as deep as where you could be at in your journey, and to be a counterpart, reflecting mirror, to help your journey out as well, so you can become stronger in those three basic fundamentals of having a mind that isn't indoctrinated by the religions, having a gut, a solar plexus that isn't indoctrinated by the Food and Drug Administrations of the world, having a root chakra and sacral chakra that isn't programmed by the mass porn industries of the loose-based reality that people outside of the sovereign capacity are still very much feeding that egregore. All right, so just to bring clarity through, we have the ability to filter out our relationships very wisely. We have the closure to make sure that there is going to always be a community that will help build your relationships. So it takes a community or a village to raise a relationship, and that further creates the ability to go further in mating, also being one of the aspects of relationship, and what is for to multiply yourself, go forth and be fruitful and be prosperous with your offspring, and create immortality through yourself, right? So if it's not starting at that standard and quality and level from the beginning, from the jump, then you have leaks that will always reflect in the relationship, and it could be worse. It could be whole floods that will always reflect the relationship. So let's go ahead and ground into these thoughts presented here, anchor them in, and let them create an abundant garden inside of your paradise Eden, inside of your kingdom of the Most High, inside of your heavenly abodes. All right, praises and cheers. Musad. Ashuk, 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 divine love, divine love, divine love. May that divine love be filled with divine mind, divine grace, divine compassion, divine curiosity, divine mystery. All right. We're blessed and we're blessed. From the big eye, on top of the world. Honoring the stars, as always. When we look into the sky, when we look into the ocean, we honor the stars as Sabaeans. Peace, 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 love, light, you know.